What if I told you that Far Cry's most iconic villain wasn't planned? Michael Mando walked into that audition meant for someone else. And what happened next changed everything. Ubisoft threw out their original script and built a new villain around him. That decision didn't just redefine Far Cry 3, it redefined video game villains. More than a decade later, new Far Cry villains feel like they're chasing his ghost. So let's talk about it. Why does Vaas still haunt the franchise and us?
Way up in the fucking skies, you thought you had your finger on the pussy trigger.
Oh, Jesus. No.
Oh, fuck!
When I first met Vaas, he didn't feel like a game character. He felt like a storm, something raw, dangerous, and unpredictable. He was terrifying, yeah, but also magnetic. Something about the way he talked, how he looked at you, wanted to know why he was like this. The look in his eyes when he spoke shook me, made me uneasy, but curious. I wanted answers to my questions, like where his loyalty lied, where his sense of betrayal came from, and what caused spiral and chaos. As the game unfolded, I even found myself wanting him to win, just to see what he'd do. I mean, that's insane, right? But that's Vaas. It made you question yourself. His logic, warped as it was, made sense. I didn't just fear him, I understood him. And that's when I knew Ubisoft had captured something they'd never recreate again.
Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
Let's be real. Every Far Cry villain since Vaas has felt like they're trying too hard. Pagan Min had the style. Joseph Seed had the voice. Anton Castillo had the face. But none of them had the presence. Vaas didn't just enter the game, he hijacked it. The definition of insanity speech burned into gaming history. Even people who haven't played the game quote it. Fan art, cosplay, Reddit memes. Vaas never left the conversation. Now compare that to Pagan's karaoke moment or Anton's speeches. Cool? Sure. Iconic? Not even close. The problem is simple. Ubisoft confused quirk for character. They built villains around marketable traits, flamboyant suits, religious cults, dictator tropes, rather than building humans. Vaas was never a checklist. He was chaos with a backstory. A man broken by trauma, loyalty, and addiction, only to be brought to life by a performance no one could have written.
Fuck you. You are angry, Jason. You are angry. Okay, I get that. I get it.
Here's what made Vaas work. He wasn't just crazy, he was calculated. Behind the wild eyes and the violent outbursts was a story with weight. He grew up in the Rakyat tribe, protected his sister, Citra. He got manipulated by Hoyt Volker, became addicted, and spiraled from warrior to weapon. And Michael Mando, he didn't act Vaas. He was and is Vaas.
He's destroyed. He's a guy who's completely gone.
Every smirk, every outburst, it felt unscripted. Like the game world couldn't contain him. You could see the pain in his eyes, even when he was laughing at you. That's what makes the villain stick. Not the outfits, not the fame, the humanity buried under the horror. When Vaas haunted people, it didn't feel like writing. It felt like a man who genuinely thought violence was funny. The contradiction made him dangerous, but also weirdly likable. And that made him unforgettable.
Weapons are not just guns. They're ideas. He's playing with ideas that are dangerous. He's juggling like ideas like grenades.
Now, Ubisoft clearly knows they struck a goldmine with Vaas. So why do they keep failing to replicate it? Well, in short, because they keep building villains from the outside looking in. They focus on viral moments, not emotional ones. Pagan sings karaoke, Anton gives dramatic speeches, and Joseph drops cryptic Bible verses. It's all image with no soul. Even when they brought Vaas back in Far Cry 6's DLC titled Vaas Insanity, it didn't land the same. You could feel the nostalgia being forced. The clever tennis ball callback, cool Easter egg, but it didn't add anything. It just reminded us of what once was. Vaas worked because he wasn't built in a boardroom. It wasn't polished, it was unleashed. Ubisoft's villains now feel like actors reading lines. Vaas felt like he might actually stab you through the screen.
I would have a conversation with God. But what would you say to God, huh?
Vaas wasn't even meant to be the main villain. Hoyt was. But Vaas stole the game because sometimes brilliance doesn't come from planning, it comes from letting chaos breathe. Michael Mando originally auditioned for 2 other characters, Lupo and a scarred brute named Bull. But when he read for Vaas, something clicked. Ubisoft didn't just cast him, they rebuilt the game around him. You can't fake that. You can't recreate lightning with a committee. And that's Ubisoft's biggest mistake. They've been chasing the symptoms of Vaas, not the cause. It wasn't the quotes, it wasn't the insanity, it was that. For a moment, we weren't watching a character, we were watching a person unravel in real time. And deep down, part of us wanted him to win.
Up there you think you have a chance, but hermano, down here, you hit the ground.
Vaas Montenegro wasn't just a villain, he was a force of nature. A perfect storm of writing, acting, and chaos that you just can't replicate. And more than 10 years later, he's still the one fans remember. Still the one new villains get compared to, and still the one Ubisoft keeps trying and failing to outdo. So, who's your favorite Far Cry villain? Do you think Ubisoft will ever create someone more memorable than Vaas? Drop your thoughts down below. I want to hear them. And hey, if you like this breakdown, give the video a like, sub to the channel, and drop your favorite Vaas quote in the comment. Thanks for watching, and remember, we all have a little insanity. Let's make something memorable.